Today in Sports Report, football, Almaty Kairat confidently passed the first qualifying round of the European League. The game number 1, the famed museum of the national team. In the first match of the qualifying round of the European League, Almaty Kairat replayed Albanian Teuta 0-1. In the inshore of the city Durrës, Kazakhstan could make a short walk in which many specialists denounced the club. Almaty gained a minimum victory, which was difficult enough for some reasons. The first reason is the flight. A long way is the biggest problem for the Kazakhstani teams. Several hours in the air before the games in Kostanay or Artrau became a habit for our footballers. But the way to Durrës is quite long compared to Kazakhstani flights. Almaty players stayed in Tiran, where they reached the place of destination by bus. On the other hand, Teuta faced the same problems before the away match. The second reason is the staff. Bruno Soares and Timur Rudoselski got injured, and this affected the central zone in defense. Immediately, Stas Lunin was pre-qualified into the center of defense, who became the real savior in such situations. The third reason is the climate. High temperature and high humidity played a trick on Almaty players. Actually, everything was predicted about Kairat. Plotnikov in the frame, the quartet of defense Kuantayev, Lunin, Markovic, Tisak, the duo of midfielders Bakayev, Timoshuk, trio of creators Isail, Islamkhan, Arshavin, and Go. Typical main staff plus Asivedo, Turisbek, and Tavamba to refresh the attack, and the universal soldier Islambek Kuat. Teuta has a main power, Artur Magani and Niyaz Lena acted ahead, and further 2 lines, fielder and midfielder, and also 2 hopes of the Albanians, Shipitima, Mochku in the gates. Teuta counterattacked on the left flank, and sometime before the timeout the active Cheriba shot, and Lena, after the bound, wholehearted, exerted from the penalty area. The ball rolled down Niyaz's legs and flew high and further. Then Arbor shot himself to the gloves of Plotnikov. Albanians were really tough in the first time, but there is nothing surprising. Teuta tried not to miss and counterattacked, and it happened so. Albanians predicted to conduct the second match in the same way. Although in the first 5 minutes Kairat could pass and lounge of Go in the left flank, and Islamkhan's kick out of the penalty area, and Mochka took the ball. Teuta nearly had a counterattack from the left, for which the guest replied, kicking back from the middle distance and over the bar. In the 70th minute of the second time, Kairat realized a fast kick in the right flank. Kuantayev kicked back to the center. Oncoming Arshavin punched in touch. Mochka was powerless, 0-1. Kairat went forward to improve the success. Isail kicked from the right corner of the penalty area. They are covered. Then Go shot Mochka. The keeper had to put on gloves. The danger to the Almaty gates came from the left flank, forcing in Tisaka. Musta, with his head, shot the nearest left bar from Plotnikov. Vladimir was lucky, the ball directly flew to his gloves. Kakhaber Tekadze refreshed the attack. Azevedo with Kuat appeared in the field, and Tisak threatened the goal of Teuta. Azevedo also was involved. The first kick of Gerson flew over the gate. And just in the compensated time, Kairat realized the tack's 3-1. Islamkhan rolled Azevedo. Gerson returned it. The kick out of the penalty area hit the right goalpost. To score the second one was significantly not easy for Almaty. Almaty Kairat, in an away match of the first qualifying round of the Europa League, gained a victory over Teuta from Durrës 5-0. After the match in Albania, the wards of Kakhaber Tekadze possess a minimal advantage and, in a way, look like a clear favorite. In the starting application of Kairat, Jan Vorogivski appeared, who did not take part in the first meeting. Kuat Islambek also appeared from the first minute. The mentor of Teuta, Julian Akhmataj, brought to the guest game the same staff as for the match in Durrës. In the first minutes, the Albanian team tried to keep the ball for a long time, but they could not reach the goal of Vladimir Plotnikov. Kairat responded more confidently. The first hit after a pass into the penalty area was performed by Kuat Islambek. Mochka Shipetim reacted immediately, and the reaction of the goalkeeper of Teuta tested Isail and Andrei Arshavin, who kicked it out of the penalty area. The Brazilian footballer had a good chance, but Isail could not realize the favorable moment. Losing control over the ball and initiative, the guests had to defend while Kairat continued to shoot. In the 21st minute, Mikhail Bakayev ran into the penalty area and played a beautiful combination with Gerard Go, rolling the ball to the Ivorian, who easily sent the ball to an empty gate, 1-0.
Албанцев, если взять, то один момент был всего за игру, который, опять же, сами мы допустили ошибку. То, что касается нашей командной игры, я думаю, игру провели хорошо, если выиграли 5-0. Но...
If to talk about Albanians, they just had one moment and they made a mistake in this moment. As for our team, we played well. We won 5-0. However, it must not relax us. We have weak realization. We created many moments, but in percentage we have many problems with their realization. We have to work over them and improve. We have to work to improve our errors. Several minutes later, Arshavin and Isail had a good chance to increase the score. First getting rounds of several defenders, hit the ball was covered by fielders, and at that moment was the kick of the Brazilian the goalkeeper played successfully. Then Go had to play face-to-face with the goalkeeper of the guests, but the kick of the Ivorian forward was not successful. By the end of the first time, Arshavin was in the same situation. The Russian could kick over Mocha, but did not count his horse. The ball flew over the crossbar. The remaining time was spent in constant attacks of Kairat and the guests, just the goalkeeper saved the game from a devastating score. On the second time, in an extra minute, Mikhail Bakayev finished the combination effectively in the center of the penalty area and stroked the gate of Durez with Arshavin's pass 2-0. Our fans came to support us. The stadium is almost crowded. We would not like to upset them. We had to perform good football and we did it. We won 5-0, thanks to our fans for their support. After the timeout, Kairat continued to put pressure on Teuta, attacking and beating from all sides. The head coach of the Albanian club took a decision to refresh the game, releasing Yasmin Roboshtu and Dayan Shehi to the field. Almaty played boldly and actively. The midfielders often involved attacks. Timoshuk kicked from far away, but the goalkeeper played safely. Then Bakayev had a good chance, but the Russian legionnaire could not realize the moment. The pressure on the goals of the Albanian team increased, and Arshavin realized the perfect pass to Go. Unfortunately, the forward could not hold the ball effectively. In one of the attacks, Bakayev required a penalty, but the referee ignored his attempts. Kairat, without a penalty, laid out the defense of Teuta into pieces. In the 61st minute, Baujan Islamhan assisted Go on the way to Mochka, giving an opportunity to Gerard to make a double, 3-0. Takhadze gives a chance to Islamhan to relax and released Asivido to the field. The ex-captain of the national team of Russia almost had a good opportunity to hit the target, but Arshavin's kick was blocked by the goalkeeper. Sometime later, Go gave his place to Tiandre Tavambe, who soon reached the gap till 4 balls after the play from the corner. Teuta had the only chance over 90 minutes to defeat the gate of Plotnikov, but not believing such a gift from the fielders of Kairat, the Albanian forward could not complete the chance. Later, Baujan Turisbek, substituting Arshavin, joined the game. The decision of the coaching staff of Almaty brought its fruits. In several minutes after Baujan appeared in the field, blocked the shot of Tavamba to the free corner of Mochka's gate, making the score 5-0. Guests tried to score the goal of prestige by the end of the match, but their effort was not enough. The Kairat Football Club is considered to be one of the oldest Kazakhstani clubs with a rich history and dozens of legendary generations. In 1954, on the base of Alma-Ata Dinamo was founded the club Lokomotiv Alma-Ata. In 1955, the team was renamed into the Sports Society Urajai. In 1956, after the decision of the Presidium All-Union Central Council of Trade Union about Union of Sports Society Urajai with Republican Sports Society of Farmers, this union decided to be named Kairat. The first chairman of the new sports union was Barli Khan Chinjalinov, but none of the above variants offered by the society was considered on the agenda. Nobody knows who offered the name Kairat. However, it seems that the name comes from the heavens. The whole month of June 1956, the team played away, winning in Voronezh, Stalingrad, Tbilisi, Yerevan, Krasnodar, and Rostov. The team with the name Kairat appeared in native walls in a month after the plenum on the 18th of July from Stalinbad, Kolkhozy. From 1954 to 1991, the club performed in the championship of the USSR, 24 seasons, among them in the Premier League. In 1986, they won a record place in the championship of the USSR, the 7th. In the 60s, the Soviet mass media composed legends about the defense of Kairat, calling it Kairat Beton. Almaty using the forming 1-4-2-4, so-called a Brazilian system, while many other teams played on a certified system, Double V. It happened so that Kairat had to resort to a system of 1-3-3-4. But anyway, football specialists noted that the Almaty defensive system is traced as the team used one forward less than the others. In 1960, Kairat becomes the first Kazakhstani club which takes part in the championship of the USSR, among the teams of the top division. Sharply in 3 years, appearing in the semi-final of the 12th of the USSR Cup, the club establishes the best achievement of the Kazakhstani teams in this tournament. In the semi-final, Kairat, just in extra time, concedes Donetsk Shakhtar with the score 1-2. Later, Kairat wins according to the results of the USSR Championship among the teams of the Premier League and awards for the will to win. In 1971, one of the biggest international successes of the Kazakhstani football club is achieved. Alma-Ata Kairat becomes the first Soviet team which wins the Cup of International Sports Society of Railmen. On the way to success, Kairat replayed Lokomotiv from Czechoslovakia, 4-1 in a home game and 1-0 in an away game. Primarily, they conceded Slavia from Sofia from Bulgaria at home 1-3, but confidently replayed in an away game 3-0, qualified for the final where they met Rapid from Bucharest. The first meeting in Bucharest completed in a draw 1-1. In a return game in Alma-Ata, Kairat, at the confluence of 32,000 spectators, wins with the score 1-0. This year, the fielder of the team, Seilda Bayshakov, according to the survey conducted by the youth magazine Smena, becomes the best debutant of the USSR Championship among the teams of the Premier League. In 1981, Kairat becomes the winner of the Winter International Tournament for the prize of the newspaper Nedelya, held in the riding halls of Moscow. In a final match between Kairat and Moscow Dynamo, the main and extra time completed in a draw. As a result, the winner was defined with the help of a series of post-match penalty kicks, completed with the score 5-4 in favor of Kairat. In 1992, in a sovereign history of Kazakhstan, the championship and the Cup of the Republic of Kazakhstan were played. Both tournaments were won by Alma-Ata Kairat. Now a completely transfigured club, it has an ultra-modern base. One of the main features is a special training apparatus, foot bow knot, analogs of which exist in some teams in the world. The stadium passed by the city Akimat and also good staff which do not concede on the strength to any generations of a legendary club. Lately, the football club Kairat opened their exhibition Touch the History, where the most exclusive exhibits are collected such as newspaper clippings, t-shirts of old legends, photos and cups. Almost all collections were handed to the Collector Club. PhD doctor, famous fan of Kairat, Shora Shamangal-Iuli Saibayev, collected the crumbs for a long time. An opening ceremony of the exhibition was held before the match with the Albanian Teuta. The veterans of Kazakh football, the chairman of the supervisory board, Kairat Boranbayev, and Shora Shamgal-Iuli Saribayev, who celebrated his 91st birthday in May of this year, participated in the ceremony.
На самом деле все экспонаты очень значимые, потому что есть очень много коллекционеров. Один из них Ага Шурай, как мы его называем.
Actually, all exhibits are important because there are many collectors. One of them handed the club many possessions 3 years ago, but put one condition: to open a museum. We tried to make it inside the stadium. Unfortunately, it does not fit. We decided to make it different, as it is made in many cities. We made it available, and it turned out very well.
Сделали его абсолютно доступным, по-моему, получилось очень хорошо.
Many legends of generations of the Almaty team with pleasure and nostalgia looked at the photos in which they found themselves. Vahid Masudov, Fanas Salimov, Dias Omarov, and other veterans looked excited and smiled with a bit of sadness in their eyes. The most popular exhibit of the Museum of Kairat fame was the Cup of the Railmen, which was won by the Almaty team in early 1971. The museum looks very well. This is our history, and it remained in the history. Thanks to the management of Kairat that they made it. People must know their history. Of course, the Cup of Railmen is the history of the older generation who played before us. These moments are pleasant for me. I miss these moments. Of course, the team was strong. All these years, Kairat was famous as a powerful team. It's a beautiful and good history. This is not a fairy tale, and we did it. The exhibition will last for several months, and everyone can see and touch the history of the great national team.